Good morning, members of Wigtown Divisional Licensing Board at this morning's hearing commencing 10:30 a.m. Given that we have apologies from Convener Councillor McComb, can I ask please that you elect a chair for this morning's meeting?
I nominate David Ingalls.
Thank you, Councillor Surtees.
I'm happy to second that if David's happy to take forward the role this morning, Councillor Ingalls.
Thank you, Councillor Hagman. Councillor Ingalls, are you happy to chair this morning's meeting?
Yeah, if you can show me a little patience, I'll work my way through it. Yeah, thank you. Are we good to go?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I know Sandy's mentioned it already, but I'll just remind everybody this meeting is being recorded and live streamed. Could I remind members to follow the good practice guidance, which includes muting microphones and switching off their video when you're not addressing the meeting. Should you wish to contribute to any item, you should write speak in the Teams chat function or raise your virtual hand and you will be invited to speak in order. Should your question or issue be raised by a previous speaker, please withdraw your request so that we can deal with the business as efficiently as possible. Okay, we will move on to item 1 on the agenda, which is sederant and apologies and convener's approval for the members' remote participation, which I am happy to give.
Thank you, Chair. We have apologies from the convener, Councillor McComb, and also Councillor Sloan.
Thank you, Caroline. And do item 2, declarations of interest. Does anyone have any declarations of interest? No. Okay. Item 3, minutes of the meeting of the 22nd of September 2021. This is for approval. Can I have approval for that minute, please?
Approved, Chair.
I think I was the only other one there.
Yeah,
so
Chair.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you, convener.
Yeah. Okay. Item 4 is the minute of meeting 29th of October 2021 for approval.
Approved, Chair.
Thank you. Do we need a seconder or not?
Chair, convener, if I can come in, I think on the 29th of October I was present, but on the 19th I wasn't, so I'm happy to approve or second the minute that I was in attendance at. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, did I say the 19th of October? Okay, the minute of the co-join meeting 19th of November 2021 for approval. Item 5.
Approved, Chair.
Thank you.
A minute, sorry, what was the date of that? Sorry.
It was the co-join meeting 19th of November 2021.
Yes, I was present. I approve of those, thank you.
Thank you.
And I was present too, so I'm happy to second.
Thank you. Item 6, Licensing Scotland Act 2005, applications for occasional licences and extended hours. This is granted under delegated authority. Is this for information only?
Correct, Chair, just for noting.
Okay, happy to note that. And item 7, Licensing Scotland Act 2005, applications for minor variations granted under delegated authority. Report by the clerk to the board. Again, for information only. Happy to note.
Noted.
Thank you. And item 8 is similar applications for transfer of premises licence granted under delegated authority. Report by the clerk to the board for noting. Happy to note.
Chair.
Thank you. Item 9, applications for surrender of premises licence granted under delegated authority. Report by the clerk to the board for noting. Can we note that one?
Noted, Chair.
I'm happy to note that one, yes.
Thank you. Item 10, Licensing Act 2005, application for variation of premises licence. In services, Castle Kennedy. Report by the clerk to the board. Caroline, have you got some background on this one?
Yes, thank you, Chair. And this is an application for a major variation in respect of Inch Services at Castle Kennedy in Stranraer. the premises licence holder being Penny Petroleum Scotland Limited. We have their agent, Caroline Loudon, who is appearing this morning. Just to make sure, Miss Loudon, that you can hear me okay?
I can, thank you very much, and good morning, Your Honours.
Thank you. So I can confirm that the signed satisfactory confirmation of site notice has indeed been received. We've gone through the statutory consultation advertising. Notice of the application was published on our webpage from Friday the 24th of December 2021 to Saturday the 15th of January 2022, and the satisfactory confirmation of site notice, as I said, has just been received. I can confirm that there have been no objections or representations received to this application, which may be found at Appendix 1 to this report. I can also confirm that the LSO report at Appendix 2 advises no adverse comments, and the police have no adverse comments. So in terms of procedure, Chair, I would suggest that you just hear from the police to confirm no adverse comment, the LSO to speak to the report, any questions, and then Miss Loudon can speak on behalf of her clients with questions from yourselves, and then Miss Loudon can be given the opportunity to sum up prior to you going into session. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Can we hear from the police, please?
Thank you, Chair. There's no objections from Police Scotland.
Thank you. And from the LSO?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks, Convener. Nothing to add to my report. The pretty standard changes. Obviously, there's been a transfer of licence holder here.
Thank you, Julia. Caroline, would you like to speak to the report?
I'm very happy to do that. If you meant Caroline Loudon, I'm very happy to do that.
Sorry,
Caroline, Chair,
yeah.
Sorry.
My apologies.
Yes, this is a fairly new site to Penny Petroleum, who they've got approximately 12 sites across Scotland. And when they've taken it over, they've noticed certain things that perhaps the licence was lacking. One of them, of course, is the statutory hours for off sales, but we've also added in things like recorded music, background music, that kind of thing as well. So this is a general tidy up, including even a change of name to Penny Petroleum Inch Services. So very basic this morning, within policy, within statute, and no adverse comments. But again, very grateful to your LSO, particularly for her assistance with this matter. So I would simply move grant and hope it's fairly uncontroversial for you all this morning.
Thank you for that, Caroline. Do we now move into session?
Unless Ms Loudon wishes an opportunity to sum up, Chair, and there are no questions from members.
Right, okay, sorry, my apologies. Members, do you have any questions of Caroline?
There's no questions from me, Convener. No, I'm quite happy to move essentially to recommendations, but if we wish to go into session, we can do so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Through the chair, yes, I'm totally supportive of that decision. Thank you. No questions.
Okay, then I think it's fairly straightforward. We'll go to recommendations. Are we happy to grant this change?
Convener, if I may come in, yes. I mean, clearly, as stated by the applicant, this is standard. There's nothing controversial. There's not been anything brought forward to raise any queries or concerns on. So I'm quite happy to propose actually that we grant this, and we approve the recommendation today to grant.
Thank you, Councillor Hagman.
Happy to second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Surtees. I don't have any questions either, so I think we can take it for granted. It's been granted, Caroline. Yeah.
Delighted.
Okay.
Thank you very much this morning. Much appreciated. A pleasure appearing in front of you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, we'll move on to item 11, which is an application for a new premises licence for Patrick Brewery, Kirkham. Yeah, Caroline, can you give us a bit of background on this one?
Yes, of course, Chair. I just want to ensure that we have a Mr. Philip Holmes on behalf of the applicant company with us this morning.
Yeah, present this morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
Thank you. And Mr. Holmes, can you just advise your relationship in relation to the company, the Port Patrick Brewery Limited?
1/3 owner, company director, and the personal license holder for this premises license.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Chair, this is an application for a new premises licence in respect of Portpatrick Brewery at Main Street, Kirkcaldy, Stranraer. The applicant is a company, the Portpatrick Brewery Limited. In terms of the law, we've undergone the statutory consultation process. We've received satisfactory Section 50 certificates for planning, building standards and food hygiene, and a disabled access and facility statement has also been received. The application was advertised on the board's website from Friday the 24th of December 2021 until Saturday the 15th of January 2022. I can confirm that signed satisfactory confirmation of site notice has now been received. In terms of objections and representations, the application is detailed at Appendix 1 to this report. You do have an objection from a Mr. Alistair Wilson that is detailed at Appendix 2. At Appendix 3 of the report, you will notice that the LSO has advised no adverse comment. The Police Scotland also submitted a clear report. And at Appendix 4 to this report, there is a comment from planning. I suggest, in terms of, I beg your pardon as well, a response from the applicant in relation to the objection received from Mr. Alistair Wilson was also circulated to yourselves, Chair. So just to ensure, we got that in at the last minute, so it's not appended to the report, but you should have that response in front of yourselves. So in terms of procedure, I would suggest that you hear from the police, hear from the LSO, any members' questions, then you consider the planning comments, you consider the objection from Mr. Alistair Wilson. You also allow Mr. Philip Holmes an opportunity to present his case. Then any questions from yourselves, with Mr. Holmes being given the last opportunity to speak to sum up, and thereafter you could go into session, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Can we have the police comments, please?
Thank you, Chair. There's no objections from Police Scotland.
Okay, thank you. And the LSO?
Yeah, thanks, convener. Basically, this is, although it's new premises, it's not a new business. The premises have actually relocated, and Mr. Holmes and the company has located to Kirkcaldy. So it's basically, you'll see from my photographs, it's an outbuilding behind 24 Main Street, Kirkcaldy, and there will be no public access. So the sales will be by phone or online. Times are within policy and the standard off-sale hours. And apart, I've really nothing further to add to the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Members, have you any questions? Nothing?
None from me, convener.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Chair, I'm having trouble with my mic button. I don't have any specific questions. I've read the report and I think it's a very thorough presentation. So I have all the information I need. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Holmes, would you like to give us a bit of background and to your application?
Yeah, so we took over the business maybe about 2 years ago now, a little over 2 years ago now, and we've obviously had the pandemic kiboshing things and trying to get the building in order and the relevant permissions. And this is very much sort of the last step before we can get going for us. In relation to the objection received and the comment from the planning office, I did put together a response for that, which I believe you've got. But just to reiterate, my kind of standpoint on it is we're not applying to use the premises as such outside of those hours that the planning department have delineated. We're applying to be able to sell alcohol remotely during those hours. So I don't see it as being as contradicting the planning permission in any way. And yeah, just to state again that this is a very small operation. We're talking about 2 people that will be coming and going at any given time, myself and the other company director. No public access to the site. We're just selling off sales remotely. Basically, it's for producing alcohol and storing alcohol. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Yeah, I don't appear to have that response from Mr. Holmes, Caroline.
Okay, Chair. Can I just ask our Senior Licensing Officer, Aidan Sloan? Aidan, can you hear me okay? I understand that you circulated that response yesterday to members.
I think it was the day before, but I'll
the day before.
Resend it to David now.
Sure, thank you.
No, it would have been yesterday. Yesterday was Monday. Yeah, I'll send it again now.
Thank you. I think, Chair, the terms of Mr. Holmes' written representation, his response to the planning objection, I think just kind of consolidates what he's just said now, but Aidan Sloan, our Senior Licensing Officer, will circulate that again to you. Thank you.
Did other members receive it?
Councillor Surtees and Councillor Hagman, did you receive that response at Aidan?
Yes, I did, but perhaps maybe in future we could tag it into the meeting so we can actually see that it was associated with, because yeah, I have received it and I'm just actually looking at it now, but thank you.
I can confirm I have received it. Thank you.
Apologies, members, I must have missed that somewhere down the line. I'm just checking back emails now and I can't see anything. Apologies for that. Yeah, so the question from me would be on the planning issue and the times outlined in the application, which are out with the times granted for the planning permission. I don't know whether that's causing a problem here. Caroline, can you give us a bit of guidance on this?
Yes, of course, Chair. In brief, in response to the planning comment and the planning condition, this would not be a matter for determination for yourselves. The application is requesting the statutory hours on the licensing side. Right. So the fact that the applicant company has a condition attached to their planning permission, as I see that they've got specific, more limited operating hours. Unless they agree in writing with the planning authority, that would be on the planning side. It would not prohibit you from granting the statutory licensing hours on the licensing side being 10 AM to 10 PM for off sales. And of course, if I could just say, Chair, Mr. Alistair Wilson's objection detailed at Appendix 2, when it says, I hope that in the last paragraph, I hope that the licensing board will enforce the planning permission. Of course, you do not have any legal authority to enforce planning permission. It's only the planning authority. So the planning matter is for the planning authority. Thank you.
Just wanted to cover that. So if members have no more questions, should we go into session now and discuss this, members?
Perhaps, Chair, if there's no more questions, just give Mr. Holmes an opportunity to sum up if he wishes.
Right, okay. Mr. Holmes, would you like to sum up?
Sorry. Yeah, just to say, reiterate, this a continuation of an existing business that's moved to different premises, and I'm glad that it's been said that, you know, it's obviously not the licensing board's place to enforce planning permission, not that we're breaching the planning permission anyway. Essentially, the lights are all going to be switched off and no one's going to be there outside those hours that the planning office have delineated. And just to thank the licensing board and the staff licensing standards officers for their help with this application.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Members, are we happy to grant this application?
Chair?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for the clarity regarding the objection, and I think that this is perfectly within our sort of remit to grant the licence. I'd like to wish them all the best. It's really good to see innovative projects like this coming to our villages and to our area, and certainly to my ward. I would be pleased to accept the recommendations to grant the licence.
Thank you, Ros.
Yes, convener, if I may come in. Yes, I mean, I appreciate that as members we have the opportunity to go into session. However, as outlined by Councillor Surtees, we've got the clear guidance in terms of the planning that it is out with our remit to enforce planning, and those concerns need to be addressed through the relevant channels. But I'm like Councillor Surtees, I'm really happy to go to the recommendation and second the proposal to grant this application, and like Rose, to wish the organisation and the company the very best of luck in their future endeavours. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Mr. Holmes, I'll just echo the sentiments of the other members here and wish you all the best. And the board has granted your application. So good luck for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those comments. I really appreciate it.
Okay, members, we'll move on to item 12. Which is an application for provisional premises licence at Kenmure Arms Hotel, Newloose. Caroline, can you give us a wee bit of background?
Yes, of course, Chair, thank you. It's an application for a provisional premises licence in respect of Kenmure Arms Hotel at Main Street, Newloose in Newton Stewart. The applicant is Newloose Community Trust, and I understand that we have a Sharon Cameron appearing on behalf of the applicant. So do we have Miss Cameron here today?
Yeah, I'm here.
And okay, so Miss Cameron, can you just advise your position, please, in relation to the Community Trust?
Yeah, I'm the Development Officer for Newloose Community Trust. I manage all the projects on behalf of the trustees.
Thank you. So members, as I've just stated, this is an application for a provisional premises licence received on the 22nd of December 2021. I can confirm that the board has undergone its statutory consultation procedure, and that section 50 planning certificate and also the disabled access and facilities statement has been received. The application was advertised on the board's website from Friday the 24th of December 2021 until Saturday the 15th of January 2022, and I can also confirm that the signed satisfactory confirmation of site notice has been received confirming these display dates at the premises. In terms of objections, representations, none have been received. The application, members, is detailed at Appendix 1 to the report. At Appendix 2, you also have the LSO report, which advises no adverse comments, and the police report is clear. So in terms of procedure, Chair, I would suggest that you hear from the police and then the LSO, any questions from yourselves, and then allow the applicant, Miss Cameron, to present her case on behalf of the trust, and then any members' questions, then allow the applicant to sum up prior to session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. Can we have the police, if they've anything to add?
Thank you. There's no objections from Scotland.
Okay, thank you. LSO?
Yeah, thank you, convener. Sorry about my voice today, I'm a bit croaky. I've spoke with Sharon, the proposed DPM, and who advises that although payments of between 180 to 200,000 are expected annually to the trust had to take a bank loan to cover the full cost of the works, and which loan is conditional on the outcome today. So hence the reason for the provisional application for licence. As in my report, the building's now 7 months into renovation works. The projected completion date's around July, August this year. The premises were formally licensed until it was surrendered in November 2018 when the premises were sold. Generally, it's expected that customer demand to determine the terminal hour, but the applicants requested the midnight 1 AM hour to allow flexibility for hosting community-like special events. All the hours applied for are within the board's policy statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Members, have you any questions or comments on this? Okay. Can we ask the applicant, Sharon, could you, would you want to speak to the report?
Yeah, hi, morning. Basically, the background is New Lewis Community Trust gets funding from community benefit funds from local wind farms. And within that, a community action plan was formulated, which was a massive consultation with the community to see how they wished the funds to be spent. One of these was the underused buildings in New Lewis, which culminated in a community vote, which was that they wanted us to purchase a Kenmure Arms as it had been closed for about 2 years. So the trust went ahead and purchased the building, which has been in a really bad state of repair. We're now in the process of doing a major renovation works that's coming in at just over £1 million, with the hope the building work will be finished around July, August and able to be opened as a premises again. We hope to let it out to a tenant, and at the moment everything's on schedule for it to be finished about July. The reason we need to have our provisional licence in place at the moment is that we are having to get additional funds from a bank loan to cover the costs of the building works, and one of the conditions of that is that we must have the provisional licence or premises licence in place, and obviously we're not at a stage to have a premises licence in stages yet, so hence why we've got our application in at present.
Okay, thank you for that, Sharon. Yeah, if we can ask members for comments or questions.
Chair, I'm not sure if this is. Oh, sorry, Katie.
Sorry, go on, Rose.
I don't have any questions presently.
Okay, Katie.
No, convener, there's no present. No questions from me at present. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have any questions either. I think it's fantastic that there's a regeneration programme going on in New Lewis, and this will form a key part of that. Caroline, we don't need to go into session, do we? I think it would appear that there seems to be, we're fairly unanimous in this. Am I right, members? There's nobody, or would anybody like to propose that we grant this application?
Chair, could I come in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Go on, Ross.
Sorry, I think there's a bit of a delay here on the line or something.
Yeah.
I do apologise for butting in all the time.
No,
however, Chair, if possible, I would like the opportunity to have a discussion in session.
Happy for that, yeah. We're quite happy to go into session then, members. Caroline, that's okay?
Yes, of course, Chair, absolutely, as you wish.
Okay, members, we are in session. Ross, would you like to make your comments, please?
Convener, can I just ask if the in session is in private, or are we taking that in public?
Well, we're in public at the minute. Would you prefer to go back private, Katie?
Could I request that we just have 5 minutes in private session? That would be helpful, I think.
Okay, that's fine. Can we organise that, Caroline? Is that okay?
Yes, of course, Chair. Aidan, are you able to facilitate the technical side of this to enable members and myself to go into a separate IT room, if you like, to deliberate in private? Thanks.
Yes, I'll send a separate Teams invite just now.
Thanks, Aidan. Okay, thank you, members. We are back in the main meeting. So, do we have any questions for Sharon? Katie, yeah.
Convener, yes. So now that we're in public session, I think absolutely it's imperative that we make a decision here, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the community, and I know how hard that they've been working. I appreciate all the background and the rationale for coming forward at this stage for the application. I do have a question regarding the Appendix 1 and the operating plan, and there's mention in terms of activities, and it's the very last section. It states that any other activities include, and it's that word include. And I guess my question is, at what point has that word include been inserted? Is this a request from the applicant to have that? Because I'm aware that in the past we've been quite specific what activities, and I have no issues with any of the activities that are proposed within that, but by using the word include leaves us open. So I guess on hearing from the applicant and their thoughts would be to grant the application but remove that word include from that final paragraph on that section. So I maybe pass back to either Caroline or the applicant to give us clarification, please.
Thanks, Katie. Caroline, do you want to come in?
Yes, so basically, Ms Cameron, just as you've heard from Councillor Hagman, on the appendix to the report activities, the word include has been inserted 3 times. And it may be the case that that word include has not been inserted by yourself on your application and just has been kind of colloquially referenced by a licensing team member. So what Councillor Hagman is asking you is, in terms of your activities, did you put down the word include on your application form, if you can recall? Or is this just a word that has been used by the licensing team? If it's the latter, then I will, have a chat with the team member. But the Councillor Hagman's point is that I can see our LSO Julia Farrell's got her hands up. She may be able to allude there. I'll just finish with Ms Cameron. So the point is that if you have a list of activities and you say include, then clearly that list of activities is open-ended, and the members would like that list of activities to be definitive. Chair, I can see Julia Farrell, our LSO, has her hand up. She might be able to allude further on this point.
Absolutely. Thank you, Caroline. Julia, do you want to come in?
Yeah, thanks, convener. I can clarify that the include was, I think it was my wording. I actually processed this application, so it wasn't a word to mean include other things other than what is listed there. So I can clarify that. And if that's preferred that that's no use in the future, that's noted.
I think that's something that we would prefer not to see is include. So if we're happy to remove that, and Sharon's happy for that to be taken out. Sharon, have you got any comments?
Yeah, I'm happy for that to be taken out. That's absolutely fine, thanks.
Okay. Okay, members, are we happy to grant this application at this stage?
Chair, could I come in?
Yeah, thanks, Councillor.
I had a similar point, which is why I asked for the session, and I'm really happy with the application to be granted. I'd like to congratulate the community on all the hard work. I'm delighted that they're going to be working together to reopen the pub for the community. So if that word is removed, I'd be very happy to proceed with the application.
Thank you, Councillor Surtees. Katie.
Thank you, convener. Apologies, my internet connection is not great this morning, but no, absolutely. I echo the words that Councillor Surtees has said, and wish the community group the best of luck, and I'm happy to second the recommendation to grant the application. Thank you.
Thank you, members. Sean, your application has been granted for the provisional licence, and I would echo the sentiments of both Councillor Hagman and Councillor Surtees, and hopefully the pub will become a real community hub in the centre of New Luce, and I wish you all the best with it. So
thank you very
your
much.
application has been granted.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed, and especially to Mary for all her help. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Members don't have any other business, I don't think, so I think that brings the meeting to an end today. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.